I just want to come in here and share my thoughts. This one? Yeah, this one right here. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's pull this up. 1. Well, a very pleasant, good Sunday morning to you, everyone. Hi, my name is Pastor Charles Williams, and as many of you know, I am from Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, Fort Worth is my home. It is my birthplace, and so when I learned of the events of yesterday, I was shocked. And when I saw the dash cam video, not the dash cam, but the body cam video of what actually happened in Fort Worth, Texas yesterday, I am outraged. I am outraged that such an officer could even be on the force, given what is purported that he did. One, I'm just going to give you the fast facts about this case, okay? A concerned neighbor was concerned. A concerned citizen was concerned about his neighbor, okay? He called the non-emergency number of the Fort Worth Police Department. Again, he called the non-emergency number and asked them to please come and do a courtesy check because he saw the front door open around 2:30 in the morning, and he was concerned about that. Well, and in response to that, the Fort Worth Police Department dispatched units. They came out to check out the facility. They walked past. Watch this. They walked past an open door. Okay. Normally, on most courtesy checks, they will go and they'll knock on the door. I used to be in law enforcement for a little bit, so I know. They would knock on the door, make sure everybody's okay, and so forth. They would have to knock on the door because the door would be closed. In this case, this door is wide open and the light is on in the house. Wide open and the light is on in that house. Officers, 2 of them, walked past, ignored the open door, well-lit living room to this house, walked around to the back, and was peering through a window where they saw a silhouette of 28-year-old Anathia Jefferson, and shot and killed her dead. Did not even give her hand, did not give her a chance to even raise her hand. The officer just, if you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about, okay? The officer just simply said, one, he did not identify himself. He never identified himself as an officer, okay? Never identified themselves as Fort Worth police. And then 2, he said, when he saw her through the window, he simply said, show me your hands or put your hands up, something to that effect. And before she could even comply, it was like, put your hands up, pow, okay? If she had moved her hands, If she had had the time to even move her hands, he could have felt threatened. If she had had the time. She didn't have time, y'all. She did not have the time to move her hands. And the other thing, again, here she is. But then again, the thing that I've been wrestling with ever since I heard about this, they began calling me last night. I know this area of Footwork, okay? Like I said, I'm brought up, born and raised there. I know this area of Footwork, okay? It's an area where people do pack, okay? People need to pack for their safety. People pack, okay? But the fact that there were two officers doing a non-emergency courtesy check, and they walked past this open door over here, well lit. You can see well into the house. House is well lit. But instead, they decide to go into the back, peer through. Why are you going to go through the back, peer through a window when you got an open front door? Just does not make any sense, y'all. Okay, so I understand why my peeps in Footwork are mad, they're upset, they're outraged. Now listen, I've got some great friends who serve on the police department. Not all police officers are bad, but I will say this. In this case, somebody dropped the ball here. Now, let me say this too. All of this is happening about some 35 to 40 miles from Dallas, okay, where Amber Geiger just got off, another police officer just got off with 10 years for killing Botham Jean. Okay, so now here we are, 2 weeks later, 40 miles to the west, okay, 40 miles to the west, little sleepy town, Fort Worth, Texas, and here we go, all over again. This woman was in her own house, minding her own business. One report said that she was up playing video games with her nephews. They said she was the cool aunt, okay, as they would have it. They called her, she would be considered the cool aunt. Well, shortly after playing those video games, she was killed. Okay, he shot this woman dead. What I think happened, as that officer was going around, and the body cam footage is out there. You can watch it on your own. Okay, I'm not going to show it here. But what I honestly think happened is that as that officer was peering around that house with flashlight in one hand, his weapon already drawn. Okay, he didn't see her and then draw her weapon. His weapon was already drawn, y'all. His weapon was already drawn. He had a flashlight. His gun was already drawn. And what I think happened is that the image, the shadow image from the flashlight flashed up on the window. And he mistakenly took that as her having a gun. No, she didn't have the gun pointed at him. Her arms were clearly visible. They were down. She didn't have the gun pointed at him. I think he saw the shadow of his own gun, thought it was her, and shot and killed. That's what it looks like based on from what I saw. But again, this all happened in Fort Worth, Texas. And Fort Worth, listen to my people. I wanted to come in and do this clip and talk to y'all. Listen, there's a way to protest. There's a way to protest. Do it peacefully. Do it law-abidingly. We don't need nobody else getting hurt there in Fort Worth. Listen, the reason this is so near and dear to me, I got nieces, I got nephews. Listen, I got a whole bunch of kinfolk that still live there in Fort Worth. This could have been any of them. So yeah, I'm going to speak out about this. And if you want to protest, listen. If you're angry and you're outraged about this, you need to protest. You need to get it out. Okay. You need to get it out. Authorities, it's going to take a little time for authorities to go through. And I know it's going to seem like it's going to take a long time for justice to be served. But to the protesters, okay, to the protesters in and around the Fort Worth, Texas area, here's what I would encourage people to do. Okay. I wouldn't, because you still got people hot over in Dallas over the lack of the easy sentence that Amber Geiger got. Now you got people hot over in Fort Worth. What I would suggest that if I were leading the protest there, what I would suggest take place is that protesters in Dallas should begin a march towards Fort Worth, and protesters in Fort Worth should begin a march toward Dallas. Okay. Now you say, well, that's a long way to march. This is a very serious issue, and a lot of our forefathers marched much further than that and much longer than that. But here's what will happen. Those protesters that are marching from Dallas into Fort Worth will pick up support as they come through like Grapevine. I mean, as they come through like Grand Prairie and Arlington and other places. Listen, also, if you're mad about what happened in Fort Worth, I want to listen, do not, okay? Y'all do not go to tearing up your own city, okay? Don't tear up your own city. I mean, don't tear up your own community, okay? Protest properly. I see some of you some of you on Periscope saying, wrong, all cops are corrupt, systemic. Well, I understand your emotions. I'm going to respect that. Okay, somebody said, whatever happened, to loving cops are going about it. I have absolutely no idea. Somebody said that's a lie. Watch police body cam video. Yeah, absolutely. Somebody else says blue lives matter. Okay, blue lies, LIES matter. We live in fear. I get this. I get it. I mean, these are people are living in our own homes. Our home is our sanctuary, y'all. Our home should be our sanctuary and not a place for a killing field. Again, look at what this woman did, okay? This woman stayed up late playing video games with her niece, with her nieces and nephews. Okay, at least her nieces and nephews wasn't on the street. Okay, nieces and nephews wasn't on the street. They were with her in the house where they should have been safe, but instead they wasn't. Now, police department, they are quick to try to put out a narrative to try to say that they said, oh, well, she had a gun. There was a gun found in the house. Now, listen to what they're saying. They're saying that there was a gun found in the house. They're not saying if it was a real gun, if it was a play gun, if it was a toy gun. They're not even saying if it was her gun. Was she holding the gun? Was she pointing the gun? No. The silhouette, and I have it here. The silhouette. This is the officer. You see how the officer has his hand? Already has his gun drawn. He didn't see her and then draw the gun. His gun was already drawn. Okay. The silhouette. This is the silhouette. This is the silhouette. You can't see it here, but if you go back and you look at the images, freeze frame by freeze frame, you can see a silhouette of Anathema Jefferson, of Miss Jefferson. You can see a silhouette of her. She clearly has her hands down. The command from the officer, who did not identify himself as an officer, okay? The command from the officer was, show me your hands or put your hands up. If she had moved in the time that he had given her to put her hands up, okay, then he could have said, I felt threatened. She didn't. Her hands was down, okay? On YouTube, somebody says, so cops can have a gun, but you can't. No, that's not true. Cops can have a gun. You can have a gun too. The gun was in the house, okay? It really doesn't matter because it hadn't been proven that it was her gun. There were other people who also live in the house. Was there a permit to carry? All of these things. So he just knee-jerk reaction, shot and killed. Now, going forward, how much time does this officer get if he is found guilty? Well, that remains to be seen. Okay? Again, we're fresh on the heels of what happened to Amber Geiger, and it's going to be it's going to be interesting, y'all. It's going to be interesting. So once again, I just wanted to come in and tell my peoples in Fort Worth, listen, I'm thinking about y'all. We're praying for you. We want y'all to do things the right way. Let cooler heads prevail. Listen to the community activists in your area, okay? I'm sure they will stage proper protests. Don't do it on your own. Don't pack on your own, especially if you ain't supposed to be packing. Don't pack, okay? And we'll get through this. We will get through this, okay? Again, I have family and friends who but for the grace of God, this could have been any of them. But I also have some officers who are great friends of mine who work for that department as well. And so we they'll get to the bottom of it. Yeah. The video shows everything. This time we have video, and I don't see where anywhere in that video that officer's claim of being in fear of his life is validated. I don't see that in that video at all. What I see in that video is the neglect of what most officers do when they do a courtesy call. They go and they knock on the front door. They didn't even have to knock on this front door. The front door was open. They could see inside of that house. They could see on the inside. Okay? Front door open, well lit. They could see on the inside of that house. Okay? And you got 2 officers, and you mean to tell me? No. Once again, my name is Pastor Charles Williams. I love you, Fort Worth. We're watching this. We're monitoring this. Protest, but do it peacefully, respectfully. Don't tear up my city, okay? And Black lives do matter. They really do. Hands up. Don't shoot. Black lives matter in Fort Worth, Texas, too. Thanks for watching. I'm sure we'll be doing more videos about this a little bit later as things continue to unfold. We pray for Mayor Price and all that are involved in and around this senseless tragedy. Senseless. Y'all, we're not even safe in our homes. Again, use the hashtag say her name, Anathia Jefferson. Hashtag Anathia Jefferson. God bless. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Census.